Okay, we're here to talk about xxxdents. Xxxdents are the next phase of the overwooing. And woo is everything, all that is denied by mainstream paradigm. If you hear noise, I'm trying to mute it, but they're out working and tending to trees here on my property. Okay, so we're in the overwooing period. During this period, many people's minds will suffer cognitive dissonance. The cognitive dissonance is going to be because the reality that they thought they lived in is manifesting itself in ways that are not appropriate to their view of that reality. So there's many good examples, but everybody's going to encounter it. Even if you live in the woo, even if you're already living in the area where you deal daily with information that is denied by the mainstream paradigm, even so, even people like ourselves will be constantly impacted as the overwoo continues and the mainstream paradigm dissolves, being subsumed in the overwoo. Okay. Everyone will experience this. So there's always going to be something. You're always going to have new discoveries. So today I learned is going to be a real big deal, right? Because like today I was learning, I was thinking, and it's like, oh, okay, this makes sense. The xxxdent rates are going to rise as the vax rates rise and time proceeds. And so as people have been vaccinated, we get this blip. So if time is going this way, and we have our number of cognitive dissonant episodes here, as people get, and this is time. As people get, more and more people get vaxxed, we get these episodes where the number of cognitive dissonance episodes of actual cognitive breakdown, where they can't really, they're sitting there looking at text and saying, what's going on here? I don't really understand this stuff I'm reading, or they're trying to run an app that they used to run all the time and now it seems unfamiliar and they can't really get a handle on it, those sorts of things. Okay, so as initially as people are vaxxed, you get a little blip of it right here. That little blip is also coincident with the first of the deaths in a vax episode. But as we go forward over time, and more people become vaxxed, we're going to get blips like this as each new tranche of people become vaxxed. But at the same time, there's an underlying trend for those to continue in this upward spiral of basically xxxdents. So those are going to increase. We can expect truck accidents, we can expect road accidents of all kinds, accidents at work, big accidents, small accidents. Someone screws up your order at the Subway store because they were an essential worker and they got vaxxed, and now they can't tell the difference between an olive and a pickle. And that kind of thing, right? And it may only last for a few minutes, but the repercussions will last potentially for hours afterwards, because the fellow is there, he's hassled, he's not doing too well, he's trying to make your Subway sandwich, and it's like, well, things just aren't really making sense today. He's not aware enough to know that things aren't making sense to him, and he still continues working and so on. And then he screws up your sandwich, and he gets in an altercation with you. It escalates, and then it spills out for many hours afterwards because his boss gets involved or whatever the hell, right? This will continue for him day after day after day as these episodes increase, as the effects increase over time. But we're also going to see that same thing of the effects rolling out day after day, and then the effects increasing over time and then magnifying over time as the effects spread through the population. So the vaxxed are now going to be sources for vaxxidents. The vaxxidents are going to include everything, right? And they're going to just ripple and ripple and ripple. I mean, just anything you can think of where an individual, from government to any kind of private activity, has been vaxxed, it will contribute to their screwing up, to their making mistakes. And we have to worry now about those people that have been vaxxed who are in the care, or who are caring for other individuals. So because they will start making mistakes, those other individuals will start suffering. And so we're going to have to start worrying about this propensity now in our social order to err. Okay, it used to be to err what it was human, and now to err continuously and increasingly is vaxxident. Okay, because once they've got the shot, this is going to continue on, and we need to worry about it. We need to be aware of it. We need to start talking about it. We need to put this out into the discussion. It'll never hit any of the mainstream paradigm, or by the time it hits the mainstream paradigm, by the time they start talking about that, the overwoo will be so close that that paradigm itself is about to be subsumed. So you might hear them talking about it in a couple of weeks at a particular publication, and I bet you that publication folds, just because they're not going to be, because it's a retreating action on the part of the elite, and they're going to cast off anybody that is showing weakness, because they can't afford to try to take the energy to try and maintain discipline in the ranks. That's the way it is with a retreating action. So they'll be doing a lot of that. They'll be casting off a lot of their outlets and payments, and also there's all the bribery issues breaking down because of the money and all of this sort of thing. So to err continuously and increasingly is vaxxed. And we're now we have a lot of vaxxed people. There's 1 billion people out there that have been vaxxed. And so we're going to have a lot of these vaxxidents. This is going to be a really short video. Its point is to just say, beware, be aware of the vaxxed people around you, and let's start paying attention to this and seeing if we can't curtail the growing, developing wave of vaxxidents. You know, they're going to be pissed too when you intrude on them. But so far, those people that I've seen that are in the process of executing a vaxxident, that have been vaccinated and are having a bad day cognitively, are very grateful that someone comes along and helps correct their malfunctioning. This was exactly like my mother when she was in those stages, the latter stages of Alzheimer's before she died. The dementia, she knew she was not functioning, but she could not even articulate that she knew that to herself, but was greatly relieved when I would acknowledge that she was not functioning and take over, because then she didn't have to even worry about it anymore, right? I've also seen this in another individual already that I know to be vaccinated, who is having cognitive episodes, cognitive dysfunction episodes, not dissonance, but dysfunction episodes, where it just doesn't quite work. So this is a very terrible thing. And then I've got relatives that have been vaxxed, and so it's like, you know, one person removed from me kind of a thing. I mean, I can reach out to this person right now, but I've got relatives that have been vaxxed that are showing signs of the side effects, the physical side effects. And this shit really gets me pissed. And I'm aware of it, and I'm thinking about it. So my anger is controlled. And also I know that I can't, you know, really go out and vent my anger anyway. But not everyone will have that understanding as we go forward. So be aware there are people that are going to be vaxxident prone and violent because they know they're suffering and damaged, and they want to get relief or beyond it or revenge, that kind of thing. There goes the big truck. So, anyway, all right, a short video. Terrible subject, guys. We're in in the overwooing. It's very stressful for all of us, and it's going to be getting a lot worse. So, you know, get yourself together as much as possible and prepare.